For 3 years, the woman had lived as a widow, turning down every suitor brought by the matchmaker only to be stopped each time by her eldest brother-in-law, who refused to let her remarry no matter what. At first, she thought he was simply honoring his late brother's memory, but a few days later, she overheard a quiet conversation between her mother-in-law and the so-called elder brother, and the truth hit her like a thunderbolt. It wasn't her husband who died 3 years ago, it was his twin brother. Her real husband had been pretending to be his older brother all along, just to protect his fragile sister-in-law, who couldn't handle the truth. His plan was to get her pregnant as soon as possible, believing that having a child would give her a reason to live again. The woman felt like her whole world collapsed. She stumbled out into the courtyard, fighting back tears. For the past 3 years, she had tried everything to reunite with her dead husband, pills, wrist lashes, even throwing herself into a river. And yet, her husband said nothing. He let her suffer in silence, watching her destroy herself without ever telling her the truth. As she stood there laughing bitterly at her own foolishness, the neighborhood matchmaker arrived again, bringing a proposal, this time from the regiment commander, her husband's old army comrade. Ever since the day she was declared a widow, the commander had repeatedly asked for her hand, and she had always declined, staying loyal to the memory of her dead husband. But now, having learned the truth, she agreed without hesitation. Just 2 weeks later, she packed her things to leave for the island and marry the commander. The sound of commotion drew her husband out of the house in a fury. He chased off the matchmaker, his face twisted with jealousy, but to the woman, it was all laughable. For 3 years, he had shared a bed with her delicate sister-in-law every night, yet never once allowed her to move on. What kind of justice was that? That night, as she was packing her bags, the wooden bed in the next room began creaking again. Once, she would have smiled and thought it was just her brother-in-law and sister-in-law being affectionate. Now, it felt like a dagger to the heart. Suddenly, a scream rang out. She rushed to the door, only to see her husband, half-dressed, carrying his disheveled sister-in-law in a panic.